Hello and welcome to this executive interview with Alex Barros, Chief Marketing and Innovation Officer at BEONx. But today we'll talk about the opportunity available for hotels to maximize revenue and profit and adopt a more connected revenue strategy across the organization to enable total profit opportunity. So thank you very much, Alex Barros, for joining us. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm very well, very well. Really delighted to have you here. We'll delve straight in. Let's talk about this. Let's find out a bit about BEONx and its vision behind the sole profit strategy platform.
Perfect. So we've basically launched the brand in November last year, at the end of November, and with all of our vision of BEONx. And what the founders and the team has built to actually take to the market this new vision of total profitability with let's say sustainability being at the forefront of it as something that basically is imperative to profitability. So I think that's kind of the news from our side. We've incorporated some really interesting initiatives and partners on our platform. So we're working with a company called Barrios, which happens to be Spanish, but they, after a massive due diligence that we've done globally on different KPIs on sustainability, they are the ones which we've selected to work with us to help each one of our hotels to actually understand where they are in their journey for sustainability. So we're very excited about it, and I think it's been having great traction with the industry. We've had some very interesting accounts reaching out to us and trying to understand exactly what we're doing, and yeah, we're working on it, and it's been very exciting and very promising. It's great to see how our vision at BEONx is resonating with the market.
And especially now that sustainability is so important and is driving such investments, very large investments, particularly based on sustainability criteria and this non-financial criteria that's measuring risk, is measuring opportunities, and it's great to see that this factor is so important moving forward. How would you say sustainability will impact hotels' revenue moving forward? What do you envision that impact will be?
Gosh, it's a very wide question because it has so many different folds of what the impact is going to be in the hotel industry. I think that from a first standpoint, if you think about the sustainability from a choice point of view from the guest, that's basically the very first let's say touch point where hotels would have to be ready to be able to actually demonstrate and share with the end guests where they are in their journey of sustainability. So guests will decide whether they want to stay with hotel A, B, or C based on sustainability. So for us, that's definitely the first aspect of the question that you just asked. The second one, obviously, is more internally. Okay, once the guest has selected your brand, believes you are on the right path, when he gets there, are you doing the right things? Are you engaging the guests in sustainability to actually be able to generate new profits and to retain profits? But more so than that, are you able to actually engage guests on sustainable initiatives that are profitable and help you to transform the profitability of your property? And guests are curious to understand, are you using sustainable technology to try and be more profitable as well or not, and basically building upon their desire to be more eco-conscious and basically more aware of what's going on. So I think that the magic about this is going to be, how can we as hotels and tech providers be able to let's say integrate profitability into the strategy based on using sustainability as an imperative, because technology has already reached the point where being sustainable is actually profitable. So we're long past the time where hotels had to be green just because it was a good marketing strategy. I think that we've got to the point where being green is part of the public policy, so the governments are requiring it. So you have to actually do that. The banks are actually also taking that into account, because if you have got proof that you are working towards being sustainable, you are actually able to get lower interest rates. So basically, the whole vision of sustainability is how do we take it to a financial point of view, and how can we help hotels to build a resilient future that takes sustainability at the core.
Yeah, that's huge. I think it's about how do we help hotels be financially sustainable, and in that journey become a lot more efficient. And I love how you sort of talk about all these layers from an operational standpoint, and particularly how they manage their asset throughout that lifetime value, and how that impacts directly that opportunity to drive more revenue, but also the perception of the guests moving forward. I think there's so much considerable growth for hotels beyond just focusing on managing their room revenue, particularly when we talk about ancillary, other streams of revenue, and we talk about how sustainably you can integrate all of them. How would you say, what are the additional opportunities that BEONx is opening for hotels to help them get to the bottom of that total revenue and profitability opportunity? What data would you say is key? And I really like the angle and the strategic partnership you have there with Barrios, but also what metrics should they keep an eye out for?
So I think that what's really interesting about the time we are, in the world of hospitality, is a time where we really have to understand that the guest is now at the center of everything that we do, and being at the center, the room revenue becomes just one more revenue stream for hotels. And then what happens is everything that goes around and surrounds the guests, all of the experiences, all of the F&B opportunities, all of the potential that the guest is going to be trying to discover in the journey, right? That really changes the dynamics of how we have been doing revenue with hotels for many, many years, where we had the room at the center and everything else is kind of a secondary thing. We now know that the ancillary revenues are growing exponentially, whereas room revenue is pretty much becoming very much the same. You have all the different competition, new supply, different business models like Airbnb and a bunch of others that are VBRO and a bunch of others that basically are there, not necessarily taking your share, but basically they are exploiting and using and gathering and reaching customers that could have been reached by hotels as well if they were doing things in a way that was appealing from a pricing point of view, but also from experience point of view. So I think that being able to coordinate and organize all of that and making it, high touch to technology and digitalization, literally making sure that you give customers access to that experience on a 360 basis. I think it's quite, this is definitely the way forward, and we're working very, very diligently at BEONx, trying to make sure that we partner up with apps that are profitable and sustainable, that are going to be helping hotels in that journey.
Yeah, and I think, depending on type of hotel, but as you say, hotels have such a bigger opportunity for total revenue. I mean, some properties get 30 to 40% of their total revenue from F&Bs and other points of sales. And I think is getting that whole strategy together to understand the layer of profitability that sits around zero revenues, and really bringing it all together within how you manage your room revenue strategy, integrated with the ancillary streams of revenue, will be quite important. And I think you also have a big job and a big role in transforming that and shaping up the role of the revenue manager as we move into more of this total profitability opportunity. How do you sort of adapt them to keep abreast this new business demands?
So I think that you're absolutely right. I think part of our big mission for 2023 and beyond at BEONx is to really help hotels to prepare and pave the way for revenue managers to become profit managers. So we're working on a couple of initiatives that unfortunately I can't disclose right now yet, but we're working on a global international platform to actually create a pathway that revenue managers can enter and understand where they need to go to become total profit managers. So we're working on that, and I think there's definitely a role, not just for BEONx, but I think from every other company in the industry. I mean, that's definitely not just a trend, that is a necessity, I think, for the industry for it to be sustainably profitable, So we need to kind of evolve from just basically being managing room revenues and literally looking at ancillaries, looking at all the destination experiences that can be, offered up to the guests before the guest arrives at the destination, and also when the guest is in the destination, to really enrich the experience and to help hotels to capture that value that is available there by giving value to the customer by enriching their experience. So I think that journey of going from revenue management to total profitability and to sustainable profitability or profit management is definitely a core, let's say, not only mission from our side, but the responsibility, and also kind of a clear goal for us. We're really working really hard on that, and we'll be able to announce something very soon with regards to that as well. And I'll share with you when it comes. But we're almost there, and it should be very exciting because it should really be able to help hotels to be able to implement and really get on board with all of their teams in the different departments to actually become, profit managers and really departure from being revenue management. Yeah.
And I think that's anticipated as we wrap up a little bit of conversation, your vision on how you work with the various strategic partners, but also how you're opening up a marketplace for hotels, a no-hub hub available for them to really be able to understand additional opportunities that are there as part of the strategy with their revenue.
Absolutely. So when we think about where we're going with total profitability, you have to rethink what revenue management used to do and what total profitability is going to have to do going forward. So we're becoming much more of a hub of tech partners because we can't do everything, right? So we need to have, for example, Dynamite to help hotels to price their menus at the restaurant. We need to have, for example, Hotelverse to try and book and basically manage the rooms individually. You need to have like easy way to try and help connect the whole journey and the guest journey from the beginning, where you basically, send the guest portal, you sell, you upsell opportunities and experiences. You also connect with the guests and offer them to skip room cleaning or to reduce room cleaning, not changing sheets, not changing towels. And all of that becomes part of a much bigger and wider ecosystem. And our mission at BEONx is how do we look through every single one of our partners and how do we basically put them together and understand which ones have got, a positive, sustainable ROI, that every single piece of technology that you bring and you buy to your hotel, especially if you buy it from us, we need to make sure and ensure that that's going to be a profitable one, because it's going to have to add on to the to the GOP of the hotel. So it can't be just simply be another platform that you have that comes and takes part of that. So basically that's it.
Yeah, it's about integration, data flowing across all of the various departments and across the entire assets, and being able to profitably and sustainably manage it. So thank you very much, Alex. It was a very exciting interview. Thank you for all the insights you've shared with us. We'll see you in the next couple of weeks to a few more interviews as we anticipate the BEONx hybrid event that's coming up very soon.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having us, Cristina.
Pleasure. Thanks so much.